When the light comes in. This is the last part of the novel. Please look in our channel for more novels, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Part 5, When the Light Comes In. The break wasn't clean. There were no dramatic speeches, no slammed doors. Just space, wide and aching. Days turned into weeks, and the world kept turning while Maya tried to figure out what she wanted. At first, she filled her time with distractions, extra shoots, dinners with friends, deep dives into photo editing that stretched into the early hours of morning. But eventually, when the noise faded, the quiet crept back in. And in the quiet, she started asking herself the questions she'd been too afraid to answer. What am I really scared of? Why do I flinch at the idea of permanence? Is love something I have to control, or can I learn to trust it? It took her a while to realize she wasn't afraid of Aaron. She was afraid of losing herself. Her last serious relationship had chipped away at her confidence one comment at a time. You're too emotional. You take things too seriously. Why can't you just relax? Until she started believing she was too much for anyone to stay. But Aaron had never made her feel like that. When she was overwhelmed, he didn't shrink away, he reached for her hand. When she spiraled in doubt, he listened, calm and steady. When she wasn't ready to leap, he didn't push, he simply stood by and waited. And maybe that was the most terrifying part of all. Because if you really loved her like that, then maybe, she could love herself that way too. It was early May when Maya saw him again. Not planned. Not dramatic. Just two people running into each other at a local cafe on a Tuesday morning. She was grabbing coffee for a client shoot. He was meeting a colleague. He froze when he saw her. So did she. Hi, he said, his voice like a familiar song she hadn't heard in a while. Hi, she echoed. There was an awkward pause. Then a smile. Then. Want to sit for a minute, he asked. She hesitated. Then nodded. Yeah. I'd like that. The conversation was light at first, weather, work, mutual friends. Then Aaron leaned in, his tone softening. You look good. Thanks. So do you. He smiled but didn't push further. Maya watched him for a moment, heart thudding against her ribs. Do you still think about it? She asked. He didn't pretend not to know what she meant. Every day, he said. Her breath caught. I've been working on myself, she told him. Therapy. Journaling. Actually sitting with things instead of running from them. Aaron nodded. I've been doing the same. I started writing again. Not just code or reports, like, actual writing. For me. Maya's eyes lit up. I didn't know you wrote. I didn't either, he said, laughing softly. But it helps. A lot. There was a long silence, but this time it didn't feel uncomfortable. It felt like a turning point. 2 weeks later, Maya reached out. She invited him to the lake. Not their usual bench, this time she brought a blanket, thermos of hot tea, and 2 mugs with cracked handles. The sun was just beginning to dip below the horizon, casting gold across the water. Aaron arrived right on time. He looked nervous. She was too. But when he sat beside her, their shoulders brushed, and the tension eased. I've missed you, she said. I've missed us, he replied. But I didn't want to come back to something half-built. Maya turned to face him fully. Then let's rebuild it. Brick by brick. Honestly. Patiently. Aaron blinked, like he wasn't sure he was hearing her right. I don't have all the answers, she added. I still get scared. I still need space sometimes. But I'm not running. I'm here. If you are. He reached out, took her hand. I've been here the whole time, he said. From there, things didn't magically fix overnight. But they were different now. They talked more. Really talked. Not just about their days, but about their fears, their dreams, the tiny little moments that shaped them. They moved slower. They didn't rush into cohabitation, or force labels, or try to get back to how things were. Instead, they focused on who they were now, and who they could be together. And in that space, something beautiful bloomed. 6 months later, they took a trip to Maine. It was Maya's idea. She'd found a little cabin near the coast, all pine trees and silence, with a wraparound porch and a fireplace that crackled all night. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned lavender, Maya stood barefoot on the porch, camera in hand, snapping pictures of the horizon. Aaron came up behind her, wrapped his arms around her waist. "What are you thinking about?" he murmured into her hair. "That this might be the happiest I've ever been," she said. He didn't respond right away. Then he reached into his pocket, pulled something small and glinting from inside. It wasn't a ring, not yet. It was a key. To his apartment. "To keep on your ring of spares," he said. "No pressure. No expectation. Just, in case you ever want it." Maya turned in his arms, heart in her throat. "You're still choosing me," she whispered. He kissed her forehead. "Always." 1 year after the day they first met, exactly 1 year, Maya stood in a gallery downtown, watching people walk past her photographs. It was her first solo show. And in the center of it all, under a spotlight, was a single framed photo, her and Aaron, that candid she hadn't even remembered taking. The one where they were laughing, hands brushing. A small gold plaque read, "In between moments. When love finds you anyway." Aaron walked up beside her, took her hand. "You know," he said, "I was thinking about the first time we met." "Oh yeah? I never told you this, but I almost didn't say anything to you that day. You looked so focused. So confident. I thought, someone like her probably already has someone." Maya smiled, leaning into his shoulder. "I thought the same about you." He chuckled. "Funny how things work out." "Yeah," she said, eyes still on the photo. "Funny. Love didn't come crashing in like thunder. It came like sunlight through closed blinds. Gradual. Patient. Gentle. It found her in the space between breaths, in the cracks of old wounds, in the quiet choice to stay even when leaving felt easier. And when it came, she let it in. Every soft, imperfect, beautiful bit of it. The end. Thank you for following this story. Please check our channel for more novels.